they said that I, Pat Riley uh, helped me with my career. I think we helped each other with our careers. Because his was, if he didn't make the playoffs in Miami that particular year, it was going to be doubters.
So let's perfect. Good you say that because I want to
Mm-hmm.
set up the beginning of Pat Riley's Heat tenure. It's going to come back to this Knicks Heat rivalry that we'll talk about a little bit later, but we have to understand, right? So the Heat are an expansion team. They joined the league in the late '80s, and for the first 6 or 7 years of their existence, they weren't any good. They squeaked into the playoffs a couple times. And Mickey Arison, who owns the Heat right now, he buys the team in 1995, so the year before you get there, and he makes it pretty clear early that he wants to run the show differently. He's the founder of the Carnival Cruise Line. He's going to start spending money. And where does he start? He looks at Pat Riley. He says, I need a guy to run the team. Pat Riley's still with the Knicks. He's trying to figure out his extension there. Pat Riley's asking for things like ownership of the team, 10-year deal. And the Knicks owner at the time says, we like what you've done here. You've turned around the franchise, but not going to give you ownership. So what does Pat Riley do? He gets connected to Mickey Arison, and he lays out those same set of demands. And Pat Riley asks for 10% ownership of the Heat now, another 10% of ownership paid out over time. He asked for $50 million. He asked the Heat to buy out his homes in New York and LA. He asked for a limo service for games. He asks for a $300 per diem. And one thing that I can't find the answer to, Tim Hardaway, and I don't know if this is Heat
Five.
culture, if this is Heat culture G14 classification, if you're sworn, but I mean the story is that Pat Riley got 20% of the Heat when he joined the team in 1995. The Heat today are worth $4 billion. We know that Pat Riley is one of the greatest coaches of all time. We know that he's one of the best basketball minds of all time. But does Pat Riley also own 20% of the Heat and maybe be sitting on $400 to $500 million right now?
Don't know about that, but I wouldn't put it past him. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know specifically, but I wouldn't put it past him. A great business mind, not only a great business mind, great basketball mind on coaching side and GM and president side. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
let me get to that. So Mickey Arison, first of all, his dad owned the team. Okay, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people don't know that his dad owned the team. Okay, he had the biggest piece of the team. Mickey Arison came in and bought out everybody else. So
Including
no,
but his
no,
dad
no, no,
stayed.
no. It was him and his dad's team. Okay, so it's Mickey and his dad's team. So
Mm-hmm.
he comes in. His dad is older. His dad said, "You take over it. I don't care what you do. Just go ahead and take over it." He goes in there and he goes and he tells not general management, the owners. Some of the owners that had 2% here, 5% here. So if you put in $1 million, I'm gonna give you $4 million. Bye bye. That's it. Don't come back to me. That's all. So that's what he did with everybody. It was about 10 of them, and he went to each of them and gave them more money than what they deserved. But this is it. You can't, no
Mm-hmm.
tickets, no
Mm-hmm.
nothing. You have nothing to do with the Miami Heat ever again, and
Mm-hmm.
they understood that. Okay, uh, he went to Pat, and Pat probably made all those offers, but he didn't get $300 a day. He got $500 a day per damn. All right. So
Facts.
so he went. His demands was his demand. But you know what? You got to believe in somebody. As an owner, you have to believe in somebody. Just like Robert Kraft, he believed in Belichick,
Mm-hmm.
and for
Mm.
24 years, he ran a Class A organization,
Mm-hmm.
just like Pat Riley is doing now. So he made the right investment. He made the right
Mhm.
investment. Pat Riley, you always gonna make some deals here, deals there. That's not gonna pan out.
Mm-hmm.
But in the long run, it did pan out. Him trading for me, Walt Williams, Corbin, my man, I forget my man name.
Like Ty.
Chris Gallon. That
Mm-hmm.
was the right trade at that particular time. And when we got there, we had to make up. 15 to 17 games just to get in the playoffs.
Yep.
You know,
That's
and,
tough.
and it was guys that came there that believed in themselves, and they needed another scenery. You know, all of us needed another scenery. We got to another scenery, and we went and played basketball. We didn't care about practice. We just wanted to play basketball and be relevant again. And
How
that's
were the practices though, Tim? We
practice
know
is
for
tough.
this.
You know, but
Yeah,
but let me tell you this: if you're a basketball player, I mean, you just go in there and practice. It
yeah,
is what
yeah.
it is.
Facts,
It is what
facts,
it is.
facts.
You know,
What you come here for?
right? What you come here for? I
Yeah.
asked Pat Riley. I said, "Why we practice for 2.5 hours?" He said, "How long is the game?" I said, "Okay." I didn't say nothing else. I
Facts.
didn't say nothing else. But you know what? Um, sometimes we did need to practice.
hmm
Um, sometimes he could have took it, easy on us in practice. Uh, but I see why we practice because last 2 minutes, last 3 minutes of the basketball game,
Got
we
locked
had
in.
we had more gas when
hmm
everybody was on empty. So yeah, I
hmm
mean, I wouldn't trade none of that, all that experience in Miami. I wouldn't trade that for the world. I had a great time. Pat Riley is a great mind. Um, he understands basketball inside and out. He taught Erik Spoelstra that just got a
hmm
great deal. God bless him. He worked hard for it. And he deserved all that money that he's getting right now. He was my film guy.
I was about to ask, was he in the film room when you were
He
there?
was our
Yeah.
film guy. I used to go down there and visit him and my man they used to be his running mate. I forget his name, it was on my mind, but yeah, they was in the film. Yeah,
Fisdale?
Fisdale. They used to be in a dungeon,
Yep.
and I used to be down there, and I just go down there and talk to him. Man, it was a room. It wasn't no bigger than your closet. It
Fizz
had
told me about this
all
room.
that just just TVs, and it was hot as hell in there, hot as hell. And I'm telling you, man, I just walk. We used to have to open the door so I could just stand there and talk to him, so I wouldn't get hot and sweaty in there. But yeah,
hmm
that he learned from Pat. And he understood that it was going to be a change. Erik Spoelstra did, and he went on the bench, groomed D Wade to where D Wade is now, a Hall of Famer. And that was because of Erik Spoelstra.
hmm
It's a chain. I mean, it starts with Riley, then it goes to Spolstra, then it goes to Wade, and now it goes to Jimmy Butler.
Yes,
Hey,
So,
but
so you,
let me tell you this. Getting back to the Heat culture, all right. Everybody think Heat culture started with Udonis Haslem. Love Udonis Haslem. Love D Wade and all that. The culture, Heat culture, started in 1995, 96 when we
tell it.
got there. All right, it
Tell it.
started with one guy, and I tell you this: it wasn't Alonzo Mourning, it wasn't Tim
Oh.
Hardaway, it was Keith Askins.
Keith
Keith, see, a lot of
Askins.
people don't know Keith Askins was one of the guys that got drafted when they first built the team. All right, and Pat Riley liked how he goes about his business at practice every day. It's his type of culture. All right, everybody think it's Alonzo Mourning. No. Everybody think it's Tim Hardaway, PJ Brown. No. It's Keith Askins. And I say
hmm
that all day long. And I'm gonna tell you this. What he brought to that team, um, his tutelage, his professionalism, each and every day, his jersey should be in the rafters because he's
hmm
been there since day one.
One.
And
is he still with the
he's
is he still with the
still
team
with the
today?
team
Come with the
today.
bow tie. You
Yes,
see him in a little bow
yes,
tie and the
yes. He's
glasses.
still
He's
with
been
the
there.
team
Yep.
today, and he doesn't get enough credit. He
That's a
doesn't
good
get
call.
enough say. But
hmm
it started with him, how he carried on each and every day, practice hard each and every day, talk to us, say, hey man, we're not going hard enough. We're not doing what we need to do to be a championship team. So we need to practice a little bit harder. He was a he was a small voice, but his voice carried.
hmm
So yeah, Heat culture is Keith Askins, and then if Zoe, myself, and then PJ, and it goes down. But it started in 95, 96 with him.
And then everybody else fell in line.
Everybody else fell in line.